What is up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, October 23rd, 2019. If you're here right now and you're a replay viewer, I want to say something. I haven't been doing a video every day, but I want to tell you that that's pretty much what you can expect from me on this channel if Bitcoin's trading sideways. YouTube does not like that. The algorithms do not like that, but I'm not going to just put out empty content every day just for the sake of growing a YouTube channel and wasting your time and my time. But if you're here right now and you are a replay viewer and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. I promise, when things are exciting with Bitcoin, I'm going to deliver to you the best content. Let's jump into the video and talk about what is going on. I tweeted maybe an hour ago. No, this was a few hours ago. I tweeted. I said, zoom out and get back to work. Bitcoin is not doing anything out of the ordinary. And that is just it. Bitcoin is not doing anything out of the ordinary. I'm starting this video, this technical analysis video, with this tweet because I think it provides good context. And it's mainly this comment that I got. You know, nothing crazy, but it's a good comment to read through as we get ready to jump into the charts. A 45% drop in a bull market is not normal, says this person, Privacy, on Twitter. Perfectly fine comment. And then I said, we're not in a bull market. Not sure why people have been saying we are. How do you define a bull market in your opinion? And then I said, you can actually see in the picture I posted with the tweet, the Fibonacci resistance. When Bitcoin has sustainable higher highs and higher lows above that area, which is around 16,000, the upper end of that range, that's a bull market. And here it is. This is it. I've been talking about this for a very long time now. We hit the Fibonacci resistance around 14,000, that range going to 16,000. When we get above that and we sustain higher highs and higher lows above that, guess what? Then we're in a bull market. But nothing new, right? We anticipated resistance at that area, which you see on the screen. I'm zoomed out on the charts now. This is the weekly. And we're coming back down and retracing. And if you zoom out on the charts, it literally is nothing new. So just chill out for a second if you're out there and you're wondering what's going on with Bitcoin and Litecoin and all these other cryptocurrencies. It's nothing new. And I actually did a video. I'll open this up. I'm not going to play this video, but go watch it if you haven't. It was from October 9th. I said Bitcoin $6,400 floor. Crazy cool Bitcoin data. And it goes over a tweet talking about and discussing the potential for a $6,400 floor in context to mining and mining costs, production costs. And what's so sick about that is that $6,400 floor, and it was a great tweet that this person covered. So go check that out. But the $6,400 floor plays into the technicals, right? So they're talking based on mining costs. And then you integrate that into the technical analysis that we've been talking, especially for the downside of Bitcoin. And boom, you have like these beautiful ingredients that just paint the picture perfect Bitcoin chart. And that's as simple as it goes, right? So I'm not concerned that Bitcoin's down, Litecoin's down. This is the market, everybody. Like if it's not doing things like this, then I'm getting antsy, right? We were just trading sideways. I get antsy. And I don't do videos when it's doing that because it's just a waste of everybody's time. So let's talk about Bitcoin on the daily chart right here. So we talk about that $6,400 area, just for context. That's this red line right here. You see it. There's a bunch of red lines, but it's this one right in between this green rectangle. That green rectangle is a very simple Fibonacci retracement from the swing low back here in the bear market low, right? So bear market low to our swing high to a very key resistance area. We got rejection from there and we're coming back down. And we want to look at this range. That is 7,200 down to 5,400. Now, that's not to say we're going down to 5,400. It's very possible. It's a 786 Fibonacci retracement in this longer term chart. But look, right in the middle of this Fibonacci channel is that $6,400 area, right? So we really technically want to look for a bounce anywhere in this area. It could be 6,400. It could be literally what's happening right now, just above this 618 at 6,200, right? We're just above there. We could get a bounce there. We could trade sideways support above it and then blast off. But that $6,400 area is very interesting to me because of that tweet that I covered the other day, I guess around 7 or 8 days ago. So it plays very well into the context of what's going on in Bitcoin. I know many people are watching this, which is the 50 moving average on the daily chart. If I can get my chart right, here's the 50 moving average about to cross the 200 moving average right here. Will it happen? It potentially could happen. I've been saying if it happens, I don't think it's going to be this massive, huge, crazy, bearish, long-term bearish thing, right? We had that. That was the catalyst of the bear market right here back in 2018, March of 2018 back here. That was that bearish 50 moving average cross below the 200 moving average. Right now, I'm looking for consolidation, right? So Bitcoin can come down all the way down to here, 5,400, 4,500. I don't care, right? It's a higher low in terms of its bounce out of the bear market back in December. And that's bullish. And if you zoom out on the charts, you can see that. If you don't have the patience to endure like crazy dips like this, then yeah, it's ugly, it hurts, it's not fun, right? And we're talking a 60% plus dip if that happens. Right now, from the swing, from that swing high that we had to 14,000, we're around 47, close to 50% dip, right? And that's really not a bad thing, because if you're zooming out on the charts, we need this consolidation. So look for consolidation, and even in the moving averages, even if we get a 50 moving average cross below the 200, look for consolidation between the two before we get Bitcoin, blasting off. Maybe sometime in 2020, beginning of 2020, spring of 2020. Here's the halving in May. These things take time. Consolidation takes time. If you want a healthy Bitcoin, if you want $100,000 Bitcoin, if you want like these crazy parabolic gains, let it build a foundation to do that. You're not going to get just a straight up ridiculous move like that unless you're like towards the end of a bull market. Do you want to be at the end of a bull market? I don't. I want to be before the bull market's even arrived. And that's where we are right now, giving everybody more time to basically buy more Bitcoin, buy more Litecoin, and really evaluate their portfolios, giving everybody more time to learn the essence of what patience means. So that's Bitcoin on the daily chart. Now, interestingly, if you go over to the 4-hour chart, we can kind of see the move that has happened. We had a breakout target. We obviously talked about this yesterday, which was this Fibonacci retracement on the 4-hour chart. And you can see we have from this previous swing high, the higher high of this wedge, to this swing low right here on October 18th. Bitcoin seeing very clear rejection pretty much right below this key Fibonacci channel. So you see we're using the same Fibonacci 618 to 786, which is what we use on the zoomed out charts. You can use it on the 4-hour charts. Bitcoin sees these resistance and support areas using this Fibonacci channel all the time. So you have that clear resistance. We got the resistance. We broke back below this 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. And then boom, we broke down through this lower trend line. And now our target for that short-term breakout is around 7,200. And you can see we got a pretty clear short-term support, at least right now, with the 4-hour candle that you see right here. I can zoom in so you can see it better. Will that hold? I don't know. But talking into that, speaking further into will it hold, we can go over to this very interesting chart. And this is probably the most exciting part of Bitcoin right now in terms of technical analysis. If you zoom in on this chart, doesn't it look like a mini, this is the 4-hour chart. Look how reflective it is. If you look at this chart, you almost see the 2017 bull market into that bull market high, $20,000 Bitcoin, and then into a bear market, and then at the same time, we kind of see this pattern playing out, right? That led us into the bear market. Don't you see the similarities in terms of what Bitcoin has been doing on this 4-hour chart? But it's happening on a shorter time frame. It's happening quicker, and it's happening in kind of a less volatile way, right? I know people are kind of freaking out a little bit. However, it's not as bad, right? I think everybody can agree it's not as bad as when we're in this bear market environment going into who knows how low, right? And it ended up being $3,100. Now we're in this shorter term thing, a shorter term downtrend, right? And it's a healthy downtrend in my opinion, but it's interesting to see the charts looking the same. And we have this breakout that we actually had the breakout. When was this? This was September 24th, out of this larger symmetrical triangle, kind of like a mid-range symmetrical triangle with a breakout target right around $6,500. So again, this is exciting to me because I love when all these things come together for Bitcoin charts. So I started the video talking about this $6,400 floor, $6,400 floor for Bitcoin. I did this video like October 9th, right, in regards to mining costs. And then we look at our Fibonacci channel of support, $6,400 running right in between that, right? So we're getting all of this data coming together nicely. And then we're on this 4-hour chart with a $6,600 target, $6,500 target. I guess it's 6,600 targets. And all that's coming together because that's just above $6,400. So we have these things just aligning nicely in terms of technical analysis for Bitcoin, and I like that. And could we go lower? Yes. It would be a very volatile environment. It would be extremely oversold, anything below $6,500, $6,400. But at the end of the day, even if it wicked down to the 5,000s, guess what that is? That is a higher low for Bitcoin. And then maybe some sideways consolidation. Then we can talk about our next move to test key resistance areas to enter that bull market that everybody wants leading into the May 2020 halving. So that's Bitcoin, everybody. And you can see how it all takes patience, but you can also see how it doesn't even look that bad. It's not as scary as many people are thinking or feeling. So wanted to go over that. Bitcoin's looking healthy in my opinion. Going over to Twitter, I tweeted this a little bit ago, which basically was kind of a retweet from October 15th, 7 or 8 days ago. I think this falling wedge from June is an outstandingly bullish setup. When Litecoin was heading towards $140, I think I was even talking about what kind of bullish consolidation pattern we'd fall into. Well, there it is. Breakdown target of $45 to $48 in lower low scenario. So here's that post. We were trading at $54 and now we're in the 40s, and then go to the charts. And this is what it looks like for Litecoin. Actually, that's not the right one. So this is the daily chart. I want to go to the 4-hour before we hit the daily chart. So let me go to the 4-hour, and let's do this. So I'm not going to have this perfect. I deleted this pattern, but you get the gist. So we're hitting all kinds of targets, even on Litecoin. And if you take into account what's most important to me, I hate doing 4-hour. So I charted that on the daily chart. Let me go to the daily chart for a second. See what happens when you're not prepared, people? This is what happens. So Litecoin clearly broke the lower trend line in whatever's happening here in this wedge right here, lower or higher highs, higher lows. We broke through this trend line, is my point. We revisited that trend line, and then we got rejection, and we made a lower low on what is most importantly, which I want to get to, is this falling wedge, right? And so here we are in that $48, which I tweeted, the 45 to 48 range. And here we are right now around 48, 49, and then here's down to 45. This whole entire range right here. Litecoin potentially putting in a lower low on this falling wedge. Now, that's a lower low. We could break through this falling wedge, and then a breakout target for this in a crazy volatile capitulation type of environment. This is going to be, in the $30 range, right, for Litecoin. But again, same as Bitcoin, in an environment even where it is now, even if it's at $30, that is a long-term higher low for Litecoin, setting up for continued gains going into whenever the bull market commences. For context, I just want to show you something zoomed out on the weekly chart. Litecoin currently, from that swing high we had around $140 in June to now right around 67% down, right? Looking very ugly. But I want to just remind you, around the last Litecoin halving, when Litecoin went parabolic to a swing high and then to swing low. Litecoin down 71%, right? It happened kind of in a less volatile way, but it happened, right? I think I say less volatile just because it happened quick, and then we saw a little bit of gains in Litecoin. And this time around, we're down 67, 68%. I guess you can guess 67%. And it's just like, it just seems slow bleeding. It's like red week after red week right now, and people are freaking out. But Litecoin is kind of trying to find its consolidation area, maybe where it'll eventually trade sideways and put in its higher low. Now, I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, it's always in the back of my mind when I'm accumulating Bitcoin, Litecoin, whatever, that anything can happen, right? Everything, the technicals could fail in terms of we don't put in a higher low, right? And then actually, like, Litecoin just keeps going down. We're at like, $20. Like, that scenario can happen. I'm not sitting here saying I think it will, but I'm basically telling you, you could lose all your money, okay? And if you don't have that in the back of your mind, you should. And that's all I'll say. You really should. But if you have that in the back of your mind and you're using technical analysis, and we're watching all of these things, and we're prepared for higher lows in a volatile environment, meaning 70% back down, if we're prepared for these things, then we can really make like good decisions in terms of how we're accumulating these cryptocurrencies. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. This is a high risk environment, everybody. And there are potentials for high gains, but also high losses. So just take all of these things into account, the upside, the downside. I think when you zoom out on the chart, one thing is true. Bitcoin is extremely bullish looking. If you took somebody that hasn't even been tracking Bitcoin and really doesn't even know how to even look at a chart, and you said, hey, look at this chart. What do you think about this? What would you do? I think people would be like, wow, this looks really good. This looks like it's, looking normal. This looks like it's, getting ready to continue a trend, right? I mean, it's very simple. At the end of the day, that's what the world is seeing. And that's even what technical analysts are seeing. It's a continued uptrend for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin extremely volatile at the same time. I will leave you with the fact that Bitcoin is just doing exactly what we anticipated it would do. It hit a key Fibonacci area, the bull market high, bear market low. Boom, this green rectangle right in here. Fibonacci retracement, the cycles of Bitcoin, that is the doorway to the bull market. If you're wondering, that's why I've been saying we're not in a bull market. Even after these crazy gains, everybody's freaking out saying we're in a bull market. I said we weren't. And this is why. I want to see Bitcoin break through these doors. The Fibonacci resistance channel, that is like a very key cycle, Bitcoin cycle signal. And we had it back in the day, right? The bull market back in 2013 high to bear market low. We had the same exact thing happen. Bitcoin made moves up to that area, rejection, and then finally, look, Bitcoin eventually broke through that door into the bull market. And this is what everybody wants, and we're just not there yet. Have some patience, and I think we'll get there. But right now, Bitcoin's setting up in a bullish way. Thanks for the Mate. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Mate. Appreciate the super chats. I really do. And yeah, hit the 618 level on Bitcoin from December low to July. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Right here, boom, to the 618 on that Fibonacci resistance. We saw resistance. Right now we're above the 50 week moving average on Bitcoin. Hopefully we stay above it. Interestingly enough, that's another area very confluent with that $6,400 area, a little bit above it, but still very close to it and in range with all of these things we're talking about for Bitcoin. So chill out, everybody. Bitcoin's looking normal to me. I wanted to do a quick live stream. I wanted to make it 15 minutes. We're at almost 20 minutes. If you're here right now, appreciate you. Joel, thank you for the $5 super chat for the Launchpad Foundation. Thanks for all the videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate everybody coming. If you're here and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Maybe lately I haven't been doing videos every day, but that's just because I don't want to waste your time. But now that Bitcoin's making a move, here I am. I show up. Appreciate all of you coming by. Let's keep tracking this, see what happens. I think eventually we will make it to a bull market. It just takes some time and some patience. I have to get back to work. I hope you have a great day. I will see you all in the next video. God bless.